everyone. Hello, great team. It's really a pleasure to meet you. We just had a great panel discussion about deep tech, so now we're going to talk about soft tech, a little bit softer than it was before. And I'm sure you believe that technologies like CleanTech, EdTech, and HealthTech are shaping our future. And there are a lot of techs now happening around, right? You name it, right? So I would like to ask you, so what's unique in each of the sector that you represent, from CleanTech, HealthTech, and EdTech? Laima, let's start from you. So what's unique in the CleanTech?
Well, it's very unique. Everything is unique about it, actually. And I would say most importantly is that we are experiencing very fast climate change. And every one of us, also industry, businesses, everything has to change. And this is a challenge that we have never experienced. And this is a project also by 2050 to reach the net zero. So this is very unique because it concerns every one of us, all businesses, all the planet. So,
what about HealthTech, Justina?
It's a very difficult question. It seems so that it's easy to answer, but I think every one of us are related to health, and we really need to take care of it, and major changes happening within the industry. So I think it's a very good time to innovate it as well, and that's why it's unique, but at the same time super important. I will dive deep into the details later on, but actually the uniqueness is that people learn how to be a doctors and nurses, and now they need to learn how to be an innovators, and it's completely new topic and challenge for them.
Martynas, what about EdTech?
When you say education, so something in people ticks, they say, wow, education, it's like deeper purpose and etc. But if you look to EdTech, so it's the least digitalized sector in the world. So first of all, and there are a lot of emerging technologies in the sector, like ChatGPT, like AI, like virtual reality, augmented reality, and etc., which could be adapted in the sector. So there are huge potential in it. And the last thing, the COVID changed a little bit. Now,
not a little bit, I guess. It's quite a lot.
Bouncing back, but this mindset, everybody was saying, it's quite difficult to change the education sector. And now what we saw during the COVID, but it is possible. So, and I think it brings quite a huge potential in the sector. This technology, mindset change, and...
And just before coming to the stage, we also talked about students, about the education type. So do you also think that, the new generations that are coming to universities, that are coming to the workspace, are they changing also the demand of new things, of new technologies in the market?
I think we are not looking for degrees anymore. We are looking what we could acquire, some kind of skills. So I saw the report what the young people who wants to study in the college or at university is decreasing, the number of them. So we need to propose something new for them, maybe some learning platforms or maybe some nano learning and etc. So I think it opens quite a huge possibility to think and just,
I would like to add to that, coming from health tech industry, we know that all these challenges, they motivate people to join and to learn. So challenges-based learning is the next big thing, I guess. So that's why our industries is a little bit interconnected. At the same time, I can see that when you organize any event in health tech, a lot of people are joining just because they want meaningful activities. They want to dedicate their time where we can make a huge change. And I think this industry is one of them.
Yeah, great. Okay, then let's go to CleanTech, Laima. So let's go to Lithuania. Let's say, could you tell us some success stories? Because you just mentioned that, it will impact all of us, and we want that or not, we'll have to change something. So do we have already success stories, the startups that already did something innovative that completely changed the way we could behave, and how does it also align with the trends in the globe?
Yes, we do have success stories, and actually the only one unicorn in Baltics is in Lithuania, which is Vinted, and it's working in resources in the circular economy field. How we put in several sectors CleanTech. Three major sectors in Lithuania are energy, e-mobility, transportation, and resources. So in the resources we have entered. Also, we have quite a fresh new success story, PV case, which again shows that it is not only about one sector. It's not only about energy, it's also about IT. As PV case is solar panels design, solar parks design software company, and I think everyone knows they quite recently attracted $100 million United States dollars, which is one of the biggest investments in Lithuanian history. And again, another huge investment for Winded. And I can name companies like Inian Software, Imbalance Grid, Ovoco, and others. Many that are working in these three fields. But only taking these fields, we have more than 50 startups in Lithuania. But other than that, we also have sectors of chemicals, materials, and others. So, yeah, we are quite booming. And currently, well, we still compare ourselves with Latvia and Estonia. It's well, but we are one region, and usually we look at ourselves as a one region.
Yeah.
And when we compare ourselves as a region, we compare ourselves with France, with Nordics, and others.
And what is trending, you think? What technologies or what kind of startups are trending globally? You know, where we have to look?
Yeah, it's Vinted. It's Vinted. It's
Vinted. Yeah, it's Vinted, but they are Lithuanians, right? What examples you could give? I don't know, from US, from west of Europe, from Asia.
Well, mainly sectors are the ones that I mentioned, and well, we have global funds like Breakthrough Energy Ventures, which was established by Bill Gates, and Breakthrough Energy also is a philanthropic fund. They are establishing organizations like CleanTech for Europe. We in Lithuania are representing CleanTech for Baltics, CleanTech for Iberia, for Nordics, and so on and so forth. And dominating sector is still energy, because we are very much dependent in Europe still on Russia. But again, Lithuania is a very good example, a pioneer of how to get rid of Russian dependency. And perhaps everyone knows that we made a very successful test. And in 2025, we will just cut the Brel circle, and we will start the synchronization with European network. And speaking of perhaps opportunities for startups, let's say, we have quite unexplored field of energy storage.
Yes.
Yes, so
I think that's going to be the future problem. So
yes,
where to store that energy,
yes,
right?
this is new black.
New black.
Yes, so and Lithuania again, the first one in the Baltics, and I think it's the only one as not other TCOs in the Baltics did that. So Lithuanian TCO LitGrid together with Flanco, another company, they deployed 1 megawatt battery energy storage system. So we can call it a test bed, a sandbox, and open innovation platform or infrastructure. But science, businesses, manufacturers, any actors in the market can test it for their own future innovations or breakthrough innovations.
Okay, so probably we're gonna store, I don't know, sun from Spain to Lithuania.
Yes, yes.
Let's see. Justina, I think I assume that in the past decade, HealthTech was really demanding new technologies, and a lot of things were happening, and also COVID also added something in that area. So what do you think that makes Lithuania as a very, very good place for these technologies, and where the potential lies?
Oh, very good question. I have so many arguments why we're
Tell us.
why we are super good market. First of all, we are small, we know each other, and to build an ecosystem network, it's quite easy. Our regulations, maybe they are not so strict as others. If you are building startup and you want to, establish good business, basically you need to test your product and services. So in the health tech industry in other countries, it's like super difficult to do it. In Lithuania, we can do it, and we can arrange. Another thing, governmental support as well. Health tech is one of the priorities, so it means that financial mechanism will be set and interest from governmental side will be high. So basically, another thing, fintech experience. So tech personnel, we have very high level, we are well-educated country, and so on and so forth. So basically, all components which you need to start in this very, very well-regulated and very difficult area, it's better to do in small country rather than big, because it's easier for you to establish.
Yeah, it's like a sandbox.
Yeah, exactly. And, I used to be in Portugal and other countries, and we always say, for instance, from Spain, people are going to Portugal because it's a small market, 10 million. So I always say, just come to Baltics, come to Lithuania, and you will see what you can do.
But isn't that also a challenge for the startups because of the small market, and they can't scale, they don't have so many clients, right? That rather.
Yeah, but I think from baseline perspective, we are very well established. We have universities, we have scientists, we have a strong investors ecosystem, and everyone are eager to invest in this area. So from one perspective, if you want to scale, then yes, for sure, Lithuania may be not the end market, but the first one, it might be. And if you want to test your solutions in safe environment, I think it's perfect place to start.
Martynas, what do you think? In EdTech, isn't Lithuania a perfect place to start and then to scale? And from investors' perspective, you mentioned that it's the least technologized, right? Sector, digitalized, yeah.
Yeah, I'm business angel and I'm investing in EdTech, and I believe in this sector. And the question is, we have a potential big in the globe, but when it is, we need this potential to meet with opportunities. So are we capable of creating these opportunities in Lithuania? And my answer is yes. And why?
Why?
Because, everything starts with the people, and everything starts with strategical intention. So we have a lot of stakeholders in the ecosystem, like government, like investors, like startups community, EdTech association, etc. So it is exciting, but we all agree what we need to create this EdTech vertical in Lithuania, and maybe in the region, and become the EdTech hub, not only in Lithuania, but also for the region, where we could attract talents and work together and create EdTech startups. So, and it starts with the agreement. So this agreement is already done, and now we are moving to other stage, to do something about it. So I think what it could flourish. And in any case, at the moment, EdTech Association formed a new board, quite strong one. And in Lithuania, we have 50 plus EdTech already startups. And as I am, investing in EdTech startups, each week, I think, receiving 1 or 2 pitches. So I see what more and more young people are willing to create something with a purpose. So I'm thinking, okay, so maybe marketplace is already crowded markets, So why not to do this with something purposeful? And you said, what about the young people? So I think young people are already looking for some purpose in their life from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So, okay, I cannot be expert of all these sectors that you are in, but I'm very curious. So, what kind of solutions or the products are EdTech giving to people? What could be very interesting examples to share with us?
We could say Lithuanian examples.
Yeah.
For example, Turning College. So it's where you could receive degree for university, not without lecturers actually. So you just receiving the knowledge from your peers, and then you are receiving degree of what you finish, let's say, university. So when Turning College is Lithuanian startups, which was first, which participated in Y Combinator. So we could talk about Membi or DigiClasse, which I think a lot of you know. And we received investment from Bright Eye Ventures. So it's one of the biggest VC in the world which invest in EdTech startups. So there are free groups, there are Be Bright, there are schools. And what we are doing, so we are doing personalized learning platforms for children. So what I'm seeing where, startups could be created. So, EdTech is quite a wide range. So we could talk, if we are talking about EdTech, a lot of people are thinking, it's about schools. But no, it's about the long life learning, not about only schools, but also about the corporate learning, about upskilling, reskilling, and etc. So let's talk about K-12 or with schools. So where's the need? So I think a lot of you hearing what teachers are overloaded with their work. And this work is overloaded with a lot of technical stuff which they need to do during their daytime. Bureaucracy. So there are systems who already help them to ease this workload for them. For example, to create even the content for the class, or to evaluate the students when we are submitting some assessment. Also, personalized learning is also one of the areas which could be explored, because we could receive a lot of data from the person who is learning, and then adapt some materials to them. Because, some of us are better of reading, some of them of us is better of listening. So then when we adapt, so then the learning curve starts to be better. So
you, Martynas, were talking about Lithuania as a tech hub in the region, right? Justina, what do you think about HealthTech? And you mentioned that there are a lot of stakeholders, that they are willing to do something. So is it there our potential, or how we could, be brighter and more visible in the region and in the globe?
I think, if you want to build a cathedral festival, you need to put a lot of different bricks. So what is happening currently in our system, what I can see, all different initiatives, we are bringing our own bricks, and we are trying to increase this baseline. And I'm super happy about it, because instead of like scarcity mindset, we are incorporating abundance mindset, and we really try to build these different initiatives and expand this value chain for our startups. So I think this thing is happening quite fast currently, because different stakeholders, we started to talk together, we started to think, okay, you are doing this initiative, I'm doing that one, how we can cooperate. Because actually what Martynas mentioned about startups, so most probably I'm receiving calls from different stakeholders within a HealthTech ecosystem, and they all are super interested how we can cooperate. So I think what we can do now is this radical collaboration. Then we will collaborate with each and everyone, then we can become stronger as a nation, as a region, and then we can attract. Because I think when we focused our resources, our intention, then the magic happens. And we have so many success stories, for instance, in different ecosystems. In Netherlands, we collected via efforts, universities, private initiatives, and we built a HealthTech ecosystem. We have other examples. The similar example from Lithuania, FinTech, when all stakeholders cooperated, we built something. So this is, I think, very important thing.
So are we competitive compared to the other markets yet?
I think that we are becoming, because a lot of startups, they face huge challenges to test their prototypes, to test their initiatives, to reach out to investors to whom they can talk and get feedback, early evaluation. And here in our market, it's happening already. So I think that we are competitive. What we still lack, most probably, we need to organize our health data, we need to work, we need to agree some schemes how we will do it, because data is the most valuable asset, I believe. When we will have all these things organized, then we can attract even more startups. And as an initiative, as HealthTech Acceleration initiative, we're also thinking about it, and it will be our next step, what we are going to do.
Yes.
You know, I was on consultation at the Judge Business School at Cambridge University for one professor and asked, you know, what we need to build a good ecosystem, you know, in every country. And he looked at me and said, you know, you need the crazy dedicated people or team or leaders who could take a responsibility and lead some verticals and build something. So, you know, Justina took responsibility of HealthTech, and I think he is quite a good example, you know, what we are not waiting for some government to do something or some markets to do something. So here's people who doing already and taking this leadership with dedication. Laima is doing with CleanTech and taking leadership of CleanTech, you know. This EdTech association, we're taking responsibility of EdTech and development at EdTech. So I think what we need in ecosystem, we need leadership, and then everything, you know, will be in place. So then we will find the stakeholders, then we'll find the resources, then we'll have international partners. For example, we said what we want to build with EdTech region hub. So we're already in talks with some international participants who maybe would like to come here in Lithuania and to do something. Let's see, maybe
like to do a startup, to do a product
and to build ecosystem, but ecosystem, not local ecosystem, but the region ecosystem. And then we could invite, you know, people from the region to come and to build here EdTech, CleanTech, or HealthTech startups. And here is the case, you know. We had this Grand Duke Gediminas who wrote, you know, the letters and asking, you know, people to come to Vilnius. So we could do the same. So we'll write the letters and ask, you know, startups and VCs.
Are you going to use ChatGPT?
Yeah, so
Why not?
Yeah, totally. Because I think ecosystem starts from people. So if we are taking leadership of different areas, it's already started. If we align our vision with governments, with private institutions, then it flourishes. So yeah.
I have also a question for Laima, because you also talked about the governments, about the help, about the ecosystem, but with the climate change, there comes also EU regulations, comes EU Green Deal, and I guess there is a lot of opportunities for clean tech startups, right? So Laima, could you give us a brief overview how we could use that Green Deal, how it can help, you know, to get investments, how it can help for our startups to flourish?
Yeah, so as the climate neutrality is the #1 priority on the European level, so everyone heard the Paris Agreement and everyone heard Green Deal. At the beginning of this year, European Commission also introduced a Net Zero Industry Act, which might be it was a follow-up by the Inflation Reduction Act, which was introduced a year ago by the United States, and we are kind of trying to catch up with the United States, but we are a little bit lagging behind. Because of the Inflation Reduction Act, there were several companies that just left Europe and they moved to US. But still, the new Net Zero Industry Act, it will be in place, I think, at the end of this year, because currently we are having negotiations between member states. And again, Green Deal and Net Zero Industry Act, both are backed with funding, with money. And money, actually, it's quite interconnected. It will be for upskilling and reskilling as well. So there will be opportunities not only for clean tech, but for EdTech might be as well. I would just recommend for companies just to take a look at what's going on. And even if ACT is more oriented to renewables, to manufacturing companies, to put all companies onto a green transition, still there will be lots of place for startups. And of course there are...
You know, we could push this agenda, but we want to collaborate all countries together and to create something together rather than, you know, comparing who is better, you know, Estonians, Lithuanians or German. And I think, for example, this example of EdTech hub, which we want to create, the region one here in Lithuania, it could be a good start. We could invite not only Lithuanians, but also other people from other regions in Europe to create the EdTech ecosystem.
Okay, thank you, Martynas. Justina, your vision.
Yeah, I dream that one day I will open my eyes and I will see doctors and nurses saying that we are entrepreneurs, we are innovators, we have an ideas and we want to implement them. So my dream is that not just we, but when tech people and design people will join these forces together and we will have like real health tech, which is based on good design, user experience, and all of them collaborate together, as Martynas said, not locally, not within the Baltics, but really globally. And we have talents. I strongly believe that within this audience, we already have a bunch of people who are these people. So, yeah.
Oh, that's
My
a great
dream.
one. I really like it. See you, Dr. Entrepreneur. Why not? Laima, your vision.
Well, I will start from a high level. Last year in Davos, Ursula von der Leyen said that history of clean tech will be written in Europe, not in China, not in US. Even now, Lithuania, together with other Baltic countries, considering all the numbers that we have in terms of startups, in terms of ambition, in terms of entrepreneurship and so on, we are already punching above our weight. I really dream and I really believe that Lithuania, together with Baltics, we will be the new clean tech powerhouse of Europe.
Okay, that's a big ambition. Thank you, guys. That was really interesting to listen to those different sectors, and maybe somehow they even can collaborate, right? Clean tech. Everyone goes to the better future. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And see you later.